So just to start a little bit about what Hip Hop Hackathon is and what it's about. Um, Hip Hop Hackathon is really about bringing inclusion and creativity and the beat of the street to the technology and STEM fields. And so, for those of you who don't know, Black, Hispanic, Latino, and people of color represent less than 10% of those who are in STEM fields, or much worse than that. And so I'm going to play a video here by Drew that just talks a little bit about like what that knowledge gap is. And then we're going to play a quick video from our partner Bitwise, so you can kind of learn more about what's been happening and why it's important that we do this.
What's up, brothers and sisters? Drew from Black Brilliance on the B side. You know me as Blacklist. You know I focus on Black brilliant people in American history. But through my business, Black Dollar Fund, I focus on Black brilliant people of today. A lot of us aren't getting funded because we're Black, right? So Black Brilliance is all about trying to bridge that wealth gap. Now, whenever I find out information that can help me, I definitely share it with you because I know if it can help me, it can help you. And this is free. I don't offer any kind of like pay me this, pay me that to get this information, right? I want you to know that there are jobs out there, billions of dollars worth of jobs that are available to people of color and especially Black folks, right? Now, we may not know how to access them. You can't just type in Google jobs available. It's not going to happen. You won't be able to find these programs. But I'm going to give you keywords that you can put after the name of the companies that you would want to work for or partnership with or whatever, right? That will give you access to programs that they have available. Now, here are the keywords: apprenticeship, learning path, residency programs, developers, or development program. Those are the keywords that you can use to find these opportunities that you had no clue that were available. Trust me, there are many tech people that I know have no clue that this was available. I found out today, and so did you. Now, here's the thing. There are also programs with Google. One is called Grow with Google. You don't have to know nothing about programming. You just have to be interested in it. And we all know the world is moving toward tech. So you might as well start going toward that direction to be able to make more money. These jobs are starting, many of them, at $50,000 plus. I just saw today that $340,000, 340,000 jobs available starting out at $50,000 plus. You guys have to put yourself in a position of success, okay? Understand if you're an entrepreneur, this may not be for you. But Amazon has a $30 million program that is for undervalued entrepreneurs. You can type that up and look it up. I think it's like Amazon. You can look for people of color, $30 million, people of color. You'll be able to see the program, stuff like that, and it's about to start up. So please check that out. I learned about this from a lady named Marie. I'm not going to give her last name. She is the owner of Data 360, and there's going to be a Hip Hop Hackathon. Look that up on hiphophackathon.com, which I'm on the committee of. And man, it's amazing. You have to check it out. It's going to be giving access to the best of STEM for people of color, especially Black folks. So please look out for that. But I had to share as soon as I learned with my people. Look for these jobs. Let me know what's up.
All right. And then we'll also share a little bit about Bitwise, and then we'll talk about it on the other
My
side.
name is Abby Shuttler.
I'm Coley Archuleta.
My name is Stephen Duran.
My name is Jacob Stam.
And my name's Tommy.
Hey guys, my name is Raymond.
Hi, I'm Tanya, and this is my Bitwise story.
Hey everyone, I'm Coley Archuleta. I'm a tech support apprentice, and this is my Bitwise story. So before joining the apprenticeship, I had moved to LA to go to school for audio production. After a few years of attending, I hit some hardships and was no longer able to pay for it. I decided to still continue to live out in LA and to work just to live. I'd had this hope that eventually I would get a job in the industry. However, I quickly learned that I couldn't afford an internship, not get paid, and with no guarantee to get hired. So anytime I had this opportunity, I would quickly talk myself out of it. I was out there for 11 years, and I was so tired of the hustle to stay afloat, which is when I decided to move back to Fresno. I feel like Although I was fortunate enough to always have these jobs in the past, I'd still just been settling for something that was paying the bills. I wanted to be somewhere where I could challenge myself and live up to this potential that I had for so many years been so scared to live up to, which is why joining the apprenticeship ultimately came down to wanting a fresh start. It wasn't until I moved back that I learned about Bitwise. I had a friend who was already working for the company, and she had mentioned workforce training in passing. She had never pushed it, so I joked that she pretty much left the breadcrumbs to the door. It was at that time that I not only felt seen, I really felt heard. I don't know that she knows this, but that simple act alone gave me the encouragement to take that leap, and it really changed my life. I feel like I made the right choice with joining the apprenticeship even before when I was taking the workforce training class, but everything really hit me the night that I got my offer letter. One minute I'm working at a grocery store, and the next thing I know, I'm getting this amazing opportunity to work in the tech industry. I feel like my life has significantly changed since joining this apprenticeship. I no longer feel like I'm questioning my path because every day I come to work and I genuinely do something that I love. Not to mention, I'm surrounded by so many wonderful people within this company and on my team. I feel like I stand a little taller and I'm more me than I have been in a really long time. I would say to those interested in the apprenticeship, everything that you have gone through has led you here for a reason. So if you ever doubt yourself for a second, just know that you're going to be surrounded and supported by people who will remind you that no one belongs here more than you. So trust the process, embrace your journey, because this is your story to tell, and we're always going to be here to support it.
So awesome. So you can kind of see different versions of why putting together these programs and highlighting these programs for the community is important. It's a lack of knowledge, right? And so we want to make sure that we have as many spokes to the wheel, right? This hub to point people to that can bring them to success, right? And through the lens of the culture of hip hop and the hip hop community, we're really focused on reaching people where they are, right? And having those conversations and having fun with it, right? Because that is the hip hop culture, is having fun and being creative and making do what you have to create brilliance, right? So that's what we're about, is doing this and then sharing these opportunities. We're also supporting Black and Brown innovators in STEM in partnership with the Black Dollar Fund. And so if you have questions about that, Drew is available. We'll give you some information. We're also focused on, all the innovations that are out there. So we've been highlighting not just current inventors, but also inventors from the past in the Black and Latinx communities, and trying to really help people understand that this didn't come out of nowhere. We've always been STEM people. We've always been scientists and innovators. We just haven't had the community sharing that information. So Hip Hop Hackathon is really urgently needed because less than 5% of the US population has a STEM degree. And then shockingly enough, only 5% of that 5% are people of color. So you can see here that, there are tons of white males in the field, but very few people of color, especially Black and Latino people. So you can kind of see here on this graph. There are lots of ways to solve that, but what Hip Hop Hackathon is doing is providing a cultural lens to help solve that situation. We had 5 different competitions, different areas that people registered in. We had over 30 registrants so far. We had about 500 participants in the whole community. And so we're looking forward to engaging you and all the other 500 in our community to compete in next year's competition as well. Our community consists of 4 different parts. We have our community groups, which are sponsored by Microsoft and Google. We have the Google Developer Group program and the Microsoft Teals program, which supply talent and participants. And then we also have our community partners, which include Bitwise, National Black Chamber of Commerce, and over 50 individual groups on Slack. We also are starting to work with various media influencers including our community partner, Herb Anime, which you'll see some of their artwork coming up. And of course, we have the Data 360 Network. So all together, all of us have contributed different parts to make this happen. We have tons of different groups that we are looking to engage in 2023, including the Google developer groups, which includes 1,000+ groups. We have Microsoft Teals, which is about 10,000 high school students. The National Black Chamber of Commerce reaches about 100,000 Black businesses online, and business executives and influencers. And then Bitwise Industries reaches about 8,000 non-traditional adult students. The Black Dollar Fund, I think his numbers actually went up. He has a community on TikTok, I believe it's 124,000 now. And Morello Media has offered to expand our reach in 2023. And then Black Chamber of Commerce also works with a site called AudioMac, which reaches about 5 to 6 million users per month. So we're looking forward to sharing more with many, many more people and providing more opportunities throughout the entire year. So Morello Media is looking at providing social and hip hop trivia and different text programs. Data 360 is engaging people on social media and various digital platforms. We're reaching on average about 2.5 million people per month. So we're looking forward to activating more people into the Hip Hop Hackathon ecosystem over time. Participants get to have access to a number of modules. So we had some quick lessons that we went through, and then our community winner, Alvin Liu, won access to different Google topics and training around job searching, personal brand and technical writing, compensation negotiation, preparing to be interviewed, discovering your inner passion resume and cover letter workshop, focusing on users, not just technology, and allyship, and as well as leading impactful meetings. So there's actually 16 modules altogether. So we've been teaching some of those things over time, and we'll be doing much more of that in 2023. We've also been focusing on some core topics that allow you to have a high level of competency in the tech industry. And that includes behavioral design, no-code, low-code development, design thinking and business modeling, and Google career certificates. And then on top of that, we are launching some new special programming starting in this month and through September, which is how to start a career in tech, sports in STEM, healthcare in STEM, arts in STEM. And so we'll have some new events we're announcing in the next week. And so just so you kind of understand what it means about like for a person of color to get a job in tech, here's a quick teaser from one of our videos in starting a career in tech. Oops. 1 second. Again, editing is good.
I've always been a very curious kid. Lots of questions, always wondering how things worked, why they worked a certain way. And it's really no surprise to me that my career ended in me analyzing data, identifying how to best use data for different things to create more products, keep customers, attract customers. I just got started by being excited about how things worked and the story behind numbers. That was really my inspiration. And then in my corporate career, originally before I started my company, my corporate career, I was kind of thrown into projects that people really didn't want. No one really wanted to be bothered with like data, identifying what to do with it. It just seemed kind of like this kind of offshoot type project and practice. So I jumped in that way, and then over time it just grew, and demand for my talent just grew, and then my career just took off.
That's awesome. Kim, you want to go?
Sure. I have started my coaching career. I think it started in college because I was a career peer advisor, and so I was already coaching people on resume writing, cover letter writing. But I think where my entrepreneurial started was when I first left my my fintech job, and I decided to obviously try to pay my bills. So I started a consulting agency, specifically helping people identify areas where they can develop their career, given that I had like an HR background at fintech companies. And what I really started focusing on and what I noticed was there was a gap of people who really understood what HR was or how they can support you in your career development and what steps they could take. So I initially started partnering with a lot of libraries, nonprofit organizations, and kind of helping underrepresented minorities or people who just didn't know what steps to take to kind of either move into the industry or just like career professional development questions in general. And then it kind of just spiraled there. Once I started working with nonprofit organizations, a lot of tech companies started reaching out, and that's kind of like where it spiraled today.
That's awesome. And Mike?
I had a very non-traditional background. So both my parents were school teachers. So it was shameful that I was a terrible student. I was on the 10-year plan in college. And I eventually, just the one narrative that was kind of the same in my life since I was a kid was really liking to kind of like problem solve and really into tech. And so we were fortunate enough to have a home computer when home computers were a very rare thing, right? When they were called home computers, right? To distinguish them from like the big machines in offices. And so I eventually just sort of figured out through sort of like a side hustle before there was even that term was coined, right? Before side hustle was a thing, making little training modules, and that kind of got me really thinking that this could be something I could do as a career. And that entrepreneurial spirit that I had sort of eventually led me to success in the field, and then begin to create opportunities for me to give back to other people and provide the same kind of opportunity for them to discover if tech is part of their one of their superpowers, and then enable them to have a hopefully a shorter journey. I hope everybody that I help can like shorten it, and it doesn't have to take like 15 years for them to figure out like I can get paid. Wait, I can get paid to do something I love to do. Amazing.
So that's been really interesting in terms of the different pathways people can take and start a career in tech. And I think there's so many, and I guess we've seen so much misinformation about what it means to be in technology. We're really passionate about showing all the different pathways and all the different reasons and different programs you can do, because there's really no shortage of being able to have a career in tech, have a career in STEM. It's just a matter of getting on a pathway, whatever pathway works best for you. So we also focus on apprenticeships and grants. Most people of color don't realize that there are stairs to climb and steps that people give you in order to make it to the area that you want to make it in tech. So we focus on different offers from various groups and corporations. And these are some of many that offer apprenticeships and grant programs and residency programs, as Drew mentioned, and developer programs that help you join the tech ecosystem and join the STEM ecosystem and get involved in a higher paying career. We wouldn't have made it through all of this without our advisors and our board and team members, some of which are here. But thank you to everyone. It will take forever to name everyone. But thank you to those who have contributed. And we're so excited. Yeah. And yes, SAP does have a ton of resources. So we're excited to add many, many more people and teams and resources. And if you'd like to join the team, let us know. We're happy to add you to one of our projects. Our founding team members are myself, co-founder and CIO of Data 360, our CEO, co-founder Lawrence, and the founder of Herb Anime, Chris Walker, who will be joining us a little bit later in the presentation.